Friday's episode of The Young and the Restless signals a subtle but deeply unsettling shift, especially through the recast debut of Dominic. While an actor change might seem like a routine production move, within the story it serves a much more important purpose. Dominic now appears more present, more real, and more central to the emotional storm that's been quietly building around him. This change forces characters and viewers alike to confront how exposed and vulnerable Devon and Abby's son has become in the middle of unresolved adult trauma. Mariah's emotional attachment to Dominic, whom she still internally associates with Bowie, never truly faded after the surrogacy ended. That bond was formed during a time of extreme emotional intensity, loss, and confusion, and Mariah never received the closure she needed to fully let go. Instead of processing that grief in a healthy way, it was buried. Now, those unresolved emotions are resurfacing in a far more dangerous form. The visions of Ian Ward are not random hallucinations. They are manifestations of Mariah's deepest fears, guilt, and suppressed trauma. Ian represents manipulation and control, and his presence in her mind suggests that Mariah is once again vulnerable to being pushed toward destructive choices. What makes this situation especially disturbing is that Ian's influence appears to be guiding Mariah's thoughts about Dominic. In her fractured emotional state, Dominic is no longer just Devon and Abby's child. He has become a symbol of what Mariah lost, what she believes was taken from her, and what might still belong to her in some distorted way. Targeting Dominic doesn't necessarily imply immediate physical danger, but it does suggest that Mariah may begin inserting herself into his life under the guise of concern, protection, or emotional entitlement. This blurring of boundaries is where the real threat lies. Mariah may genuinely believe she is acting out of love, but love twisted by trauma can become intrusive and harmful. Devon and Abby, meanwhile, are likely unaware of just how fragile Mariah's mental state has become. From their perspective, Dominic is safe, loved, and surrounded by family. But the recast makes Dominic more visible, and that visibility forces the issue. If Mariah's behavior escalates, Devon and Abby may soon be placed in the impossible position of protecting their son while also trying to help someone they care deeply about. The emotional fallout from that conflict could fracture relationships that have already been tested in the past. In contrast to Mariah's unraveling, Audra Charles and Holden Novak present an image of confidence and control. They believe the Claire Newman situation has been handled and that any loose ends have been tied off. However, this sense of control may be an illusion. Their decision to sit down with Amy Lewis suggests that there are still legal, ethical, or strategic considerations in play. Amy's involvement often signals that consequences are being weighed, not avoided. Even if Audra and Holden think they're ahead of the game, Genoa City has a long history of secrets resurfacing when people least expect them to. Audra, in particular, thrives in gray areas where manipulation and strategy overlap. Holden may trust her judgment, but trust has a way of blinding people to risks they don't want to see. The conversation with Amy could either reinforce their sense of security or quietly expose vulnerabilities that haven't yet come to light. What's dangerous is the belief that a problem is over, because that's often when mistakes are made. The episode draws a powerful contrast between internal chaos and outward composure. Mariah is unraveling privately, haunted by a figure who once destroyed her sense of self, while Audra and Holden move forward with confidence, convinced they've mastered their situation. Both paths are unstable in their own way. Mariah's psychological struggle threatens immediate emotional harm, while Audra and Holden's certainty risks future exposure and backlash. Ultimately, Friday's episode is about delayed consequences. The Dominic recast brings a simmering issue into sharper focus, forcing characters to confront the reality that children can become collateral damage in adult battles with trauma and control. Ian Ward's lingering grip over Mariah suggests that her journey toward healing is far from complete, and until that grip is broken, everyone around her remains vulnerable. At the same time, Audra and Holden's belief that everything is under control may soon be tested, proving once again that in Genoa City, the calm before the storm is often the most dangerous moment of all.